Today we're going to be talking about operational visibility and exception management. Clio Integration Cloud, or CIC for short, offers real-time visibility into all your integrations, allowing users to monitor transactions and identify issues quickly and easily. All information is available through a single pane of glass, where other solutions might offer limited visibility or require multiple monitoring tools. With CIC's visibility and exception management capabilities, users can take complete control of their B2B environment. CIC improves decision-making with real-time insights into your transactions and B2B integrations. Let's start by taking a walk through transaction visibility in CIC. Here we will start at the main dashboard. In this view, we see aggregate charts of all our transaction types and some operational metrics for our B2B integrations. We can choose to open a chart to see the individual messages in that category, or open the Messages tab here to see all of our message types. For this video, I will select this chart to see all of my recent purchase orders. In this view, we see our individual transactions displayed as tiles. We also support a table view if you prefer that. On the left-hand side, we can filter our messages, whether that's filtering by partner, filtering by an issue or an issue ID, or even filtering by SLA compliance or acknowledgement status. If we have a specific message ID we are looking for example, an order ID or shipment ID, we can plug that value in here and get that transaction returned to us. You can also search by message details. For example, if I'm looking for an order that has a specific ship-to party, I could come in down here, select Ship to Party, and enter the value that I'm looking for in that field. The details that we search on here are configurable to your instance of CIC, so your team can search and filter on information that would be most helpful to them. Any filters that we set up can be saved and quickly accessed from the top left. For example, I built a report earlier that shows us all of our recent inbound orders from Lowe's. I could select that filter and see those documents here. These filters, in combination with our schedule reports, allow us to send tailored reports to our team members via email. For example, if I wanted to build a report for our finance team that sends them all of our outbound invoices, I could set up that report here using a filter for our outbound invoices, add their email addresses, and they can receive this on a regular schedule. Another example might be sending a report to our operations team for any documents that are at risk of missing SLA compliance, or documents that have issues, or rejected or late functional acknowledgments. Let's jump back to my Messages tab. I want to drill into one of our purchase orders. I'll select this order here from Lowe's. The first thing we notice in the middle here is key data being surfaced out of this document. The fields that we choose to surface here are configurable so that your users can see what's important to them at a quick glance. On the left-hand side, we'll see the transaction lifecycle. CIC will automatically tie together all of the transactions related to our parent document. In this example here, we see some of the core documents we typically exchange in an order lifecycle, like an order acknowledgement, ship notice, and invoice. I'm able to click through each of these documents and see key data surfaced out of each of them. It's important to note that you might be doing other transaction types with your partners. For example, maybe they send you an order remittance after the invoice here. Maybe you have an order change process in place with some of your partners. Or maybe some of your orders go out over multiple shipments and you send multiple ASNs out to your partners. All of those documents would get tied together here so that your team has full context of that order's lifecycle. I'll point out some of the more technical details that we can access in the cockpit. If I use this hyperlink at the top right corner here, I can see the raw data or the original message that our partner sent to us. Under the Translated Messages tab, I can see the data that our integration engine generated and sent to our system of record. In this case, a purchase order, a flat file format. I can also see the functional acknowledgement that we exchanged with this partner. At the top right here, I have an option to download all of this data locally, and I can even compare these messages side by side if I'd like to see what went into our transformation and what came out of it. Next, at the bottom of the screen here, I can see the message lifecycle. This shows us all of the endpoints and transformation steps that this document went through. If I open this up here, I can start at the initial point or the source point of the process, where I can see the payload that our partner sent us. I can see the logs from that connection point. I can move to the transformation step, where I see all of the stages that the document went through in our integration engine, and click through and see each of the logs in those steps. Finally, I can see all of our destinations where data was sent to. In this case, sending data to our ERP in that flat file purchase order format and the logs associated with that connection. I can also see the inbox here for our partner to receive functional acknowledgments. This level of detail that we see here is especially helpful for troubleshooting an issue. We can break out exactly where a transaction failed and quickly work on resolving it. With that being said, let's switch gears and go through our issue and exception management in CIC. At this point, we have a few different options for a resolution path, depending on the type of error that we're working with. If I go back to my issue report, one option might be to simply reprocess this message. In cases where we have a connection issue, like expired credentials or an expired certificate, we can go to the Network tab in the CIC cockpit, update that connection point, whether it's new credentials or a new certificate, and then come back to this issue report here and reprocess this message back through that now updated connection point. In other cases, we might have to manually update data that a partner has sent us. In that case, we can grab the data from the bottom here, correct it, and send it through our reprocessing workflow. In other cases, we might need to update our integrations or our trading partner maps to accept new validations or do additional lookups. CIC offers full self-service capabilities, and as a self-service user, you have access to your maps and integrations. You can update these integrations, deploy your updates, and then return to your issue report here to reprocess your messages back through your updated integrations or maps. Check out our video on no-code onboarding to see how we might update the maps or validations we send our data through. Lastly, for our managed service customers, we see at the bottom here a chat box with our managed services team. This is where the Clio team leaves updates for you as they're working on issues, whether that's reprocessing messages or updating your integrations on your behalf. This gives you a single pane of glass for issue visibility and eliminates the need for a separate support portal or tracking the issue through an email chain. That was a quick walkthrough of the visibility and exception management features in the CIC platform. For more information, contact our team at sales@clio.com. Thank you for watching.